And you are unmuted.
Are we zooming yet?
Yep,
Here we
we're
are.
zooming.
Lon's coming in right now.
You're unmuted. Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Have a good meeting.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Hey, Lon.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Thank you.
Did your dad make it back from Newport?
He is somewhere in the parking lot right now. So he's back, but
There he is.
now he's present. All right, cool.
Good evening, sorry, I'm late.
There you go.
Better
I
make
think
it
we're
better.
running out of money. This is what, what,
Now, we don't have Kim tonight, do you?
she said that just hit in on that thing over there when you're done,
Okay,
lock everything up,
gotcha.
turn the lights out.
But no Kim.
No,
No.
it's not.
Okay, cool. I'll call to order the June 30th, 2025 meeting of the Salmon Enhancement Commission. I'll call the roll. King,
Here.
Robinson,
Here.
Robinson,
Here.
Seriously. Wednesday. Canixer, Canisar here.
White. And white.
White is absent and White is absent. All right, let's go ahead and approve the minutes of the April 28th, 2025. We have quorum.
Okay,
Let's go ahead and approve the minutes of the April 28th, 2025 meeting. Anyone make a motion to approve or reject those?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
All right, motion approved and seconded. Fish biologist report, the fish pathology report. So we had some fish that were appearing dead in the net pen. We had one of the pathologists from ODFW take a look at those. It is a small single cell parasite that attaches to their gills. I'm forgetting what the name is of it. There are two courses of treatment for it. First course of treatment is requires some medication. However, that medication has to be dosed on an enclosed area with a closed water circulation system, which we don't have. The second treatment option is salt, which they are going to anyway as soon as we put their fins and they out-migrate to the ocean. So the pathologist suggested that we just clip their fins and proceed as normal, and that it will take care of itself in the ocean eventually.
We are having some pretty big fish die off, some big ones now. Our observations down there, we're having like a fish oil come up with fermenting thing, we should provide on that around, we get more floaters coming up, so we know there's a problem there. And there's not much we can do about it this year, but we're trying to think of ideas of how to improve that. Sounding pole, one end of the net sitting on the bottom, we just don't know. We're losing big fish right now.
Do you mean big as in size of the fish or big as in volume?
Both.
So, and by big fish,
Bigger than one size of the cliff, not the little runs we've been seeing.
okay. Are we losing any, is there any indicator of any fish outside net pen dying? No? Okay,
Not that we could tell.
all right.
The only thing that we can backtrack on And way at the start of this, there's that one big cutthroat that was floating around dead by the X-Field guy. We didn't know it. We don't know. We've got some plans to see if we can clean this up a little bit. There's dead fish at the bottom of that thing and we're shaking around it, floating around.
Also getting balls of methane coming up from the bottom when you shake the net.
So that tells us that net is almost sealed. There's no oxygen or ventilation or anything, you know, from slime.
Been kind of shaking around, cleaning the corners.
Mm-hmm. It's a good piece of insight. When, have you talked to Christine about it at all?
Christina is somewhere in the interior moving her mother.
Okay, so she's still out of office. There are dissolved oxygen machines that ODF&W has that monitors the dissolved oxygen levels of streams. And we can have ODF&W bring those to the fin clipping. We can dunk it in there and see where the dissolved oxygen level is, both inside the net pen and then outside the net pen as well.
That'd be really
Do
interesting.
you think we can get them up there before that?
I don't,
We've kind of got the problem now, and it'd be nice to take the measurements before we really disturb things too much. Should I call up John Spangler or somebody like that?
well,
Where direction?
my thought was before you start shoring up the net pen on fin clipping day, just do it then.
Okay.
I went up this morning, Dennis and Beanie and I, and there was over 100. And then before the meeting, I thought, I'll just run up there again and see how we're doing. And there was another 20.
Okay.
But I didn't, but when Beanie yesterday and the day before, or today and the day before, shook that net, and Dennis, a ton of them came up. I mean, it was.
Well, let's definitely bring it to the attention of ODF&W and see what their suggested course of action is. We can see if they wanna come up and measure it before the fin clipping, or if they wanna measure at the fin clipping, or if there is something else entirely that they wanna pursue.
Do you want to contact them?
Contact them.
Okay. We're available if we want to come through it.
Perfect. All right, let's pivot to anything else, any other biologist report stuff? Okay, let's pivot then to unfinished business. The fish bank project, any updates on that?
I haven't done anything on the signs and haven't done anything on the fish bank. The only fish bank I know of is a dockside and I don't know if there's one in the city or not.
I think that we thought that there was one at the city, but when we brought this up with Kim, I think she said that there wasn't, so. Let's go ahead and worry about that until more pressing matters are finished up, but maybe it might be a good time to go and collect some, empty the banks, empty the bank down on dockside if that hasn't been done recently. We got some insight from Kim on the stream stewardship project. I just need to pass that along and open that can of worms up a little bit more for gauging who wants to engage with it and in what capacity. I currently don't have any capacity for it, but I know that there are interested parties, so. Any other follow-ups with unfinished business? All right, let's pivot then to new business. So I think this is the meat and potatoes of this meeting. Let's talk about fin clipping preparations and how we want to go about that. Has anyone here not participated in setting up the pin clipping before? Okay, cool, that's good to know.
I haven't either really, actually, last year I had a procedure and I couldn't.
Okay,
Up to that, so.
alright. You probably have the most experience with that. Do you wanna walk us through the process, please?
Okay, where do I want to start? I sent you that list, I didn't bring it, I'm kind of developing up. Where do we want to start? ODF&W will bring up all the anesthetic stuff.
So okay, let's start with like what day we start with and what the process looks like.
Well, before that day, there was a couple things like the hot dog order and the condiments and bottled water. That usually happens a few days before, and there's usually no assignment with that. And get the copy and everything like that. So usually after that, we do a setup on Friday afternoon, choosing a time. Most of the equipment is at dockside, you know, I can get this out, little fin clipping buckets, dip nets, things like that. So that's one load. The priority, the best way to set it up is to meet up here at a specific time, grab the tent, set that up. Then the next thing you do is we'll set the tables in underneath, then bring in the we use the salmon bake tables here. We have a list of that. So a lot of the staging is here in the dockside. I'll cut the city's little portable generator moves around. We get our hands on that for the water pump. And if we're gonna cook hot dogs, this got a portable barbecue. Mine's somewhat portable. I can get some help doing that, set that up.
So set up on Friday, is that what I'm hearing?
This is a Friday deal. So when we walk in there Saturday, all we gotta do is have a cup of coffee, a donut, sign in. All the setup on Friday with the exception of the food order.
Okay.
And it's usually a little, in the past, I've gotten really heavy on condiments, you just make it simple, $50 to $100, we don't use, we just send them right over there to kids on.
Well, what time do you usually meet on Friday to assemble things?
Oh, 2 o'clock usually sounds pretty reasonable to everybody.
I'm unavailable on Fridays between 1 and 4:20 p.m. But other than that, I'm available to help on Fridays.
Stop and see what's going on in your circles of where you're going. See the food pickup, that doesn't look good on Friday.
So why don't y'all plan to meet here? Do you need an extra back? Specifically this one, to get tables and the tent.
We can do it without to me, what you do is you just do your project, and if you can't even get out of there until 4, You know, most of that, to me, most of that's done. The tables are easy to do. I'll notify Gary Nicolaisen, because the tent structure is always a puzzle, no matter how we mark
Yeah. It
it.
How do we get the tables up there? Does the city take them up for us or?
Well, they're just sheets of plywood and sawhorses with checks on them, and they're all back there.
Put them into the back of this pickup truck.
That's how we did it last year.
Yeah, just,
picnic tables? What about those?
we can grab a couple of those after we get the pin clipping tables.
Do you have a good strong back for those?
If they're set up right, we
Because
can
I was
get them.
gonna say, I can almost
Okay.
guarantee you that they're not set up right, so,
We'll get them.
okay, make sure you have access to a different back that's not that one. Okay,
To me, the assembly part's pretty good, and I'll dig that list out again and things, and I'll just email it to every one of you in one to Kim, so you've got something to work on. To me, the biggest assignment here is, okay, who's gonna do the food? And we'll go through Kim on that, hot dogs, hot dog buns, whatever, the water. And I'll do the barbecue.
Was it Chestnut that donated last year?
They might have donated some of it. Again,
Casino, I think
yeah,
was.
Dockside's gonna donate some coffee, so they can try some donuts out of somebody at Chester's.
Then we get, might be a deal through, Depot Bay Donuts. You got Raymond over there, it's usually pretty good.
On some of this, Todd, would you like to kind of do some sounding out on that?
I can hit Raymond up, be easy, cause I do my cars and coffee over here, and easy sets things up.
Cool.
I just have them all advanced.
Mm-hmm,
awesome,
thank you.
appreciate it.
So we put in your, what exact kind of donuts?
You get what you get.
Didn't France, help us with buns? I know they've helped us before.
I hadn't really been in too much on the food end of it. I've been on the tail end and getting over the kids zone.
Kimberly, I think, has got.
Yeah, she.
Yeah.
Got a list, I think, probably from years past.
Well, I will talk to her.
So what are we doing this?
So that would be,
9 AM on Saturday the 12th is when the clipping is happens,
So that's when we use your.
and 2 PM on Friday the 11th.
Among other things, we need to get through signs that we usually commandeer from the city on some no parking stuff. I talked to Toby. He wasn't certain, but he might be able to do the shuttle from the gate up to the turnaround for some of the people, but we would have ODF and W, Christine up there with that, and there'd probably be at least two ODF and W units up there, you think, Bob?
units being vehicles,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's probably just gonna be Christians.
What about your people with
They're not from ODFW,
it?
but they can park down at the bottom of the gate,
Okay,
variable body.
okay, so the parking's an issue, the shuttle. Well,
It is what we do.
pardon me?
We had them parked down below. Somebody was shoveling them back and forth.
Mm-hmm. Right, and Toby, Neighbors for Kids, he wasn't able to do it last year, but in the past, when we used his van.
So, yeah. What time did you say Friday again?
2 PM,
2 PM on Friday.
City Hall, right here, in the back.
I'll mark it down if we can.
You know, the city's got a flat top barbecue. It's portable.
Let's use that then.
Well, you use that if it isn't. I mean, the other thing,
I'm just saying that,
how large is it? It's gotta be back there though, right?
I don't know, but it's got this, it's a flat top. It's portable, I mean, that's one we use for the pet food and the rest of them. That's portable, that's big time portable, isn't it, Dennis?
I don't know.
Well, you see it one back there, so.
Look at.
Yeah, but you're the one who's always cooking on it. You should know it better than I do, I've never cooked on
I
it.
just asked us, so, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, I'll ask him, it's gonna be.
Sure, and we're always, depending on the setup, we're a little bit cozy for space. Sign up sheet,
I'll print off all the sign-up sheets and everything.
okay? And the salmon support stickers is agreed that we'll bring those up there. If they volunteer, they can flip a fish, they can have a sticker.
Sounds good to me.
Okay, new guy questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where does this happen? Up, like,
Columns.
Up
at the reservoir.
Yep.
okay, up by the reservoir.
Correct.
So we're talking about a portable barbecue. It's got to get from wherever it is now, whichever one it is, up to the top of that reservoir. Okay.
Yes, all of
So
the,
portable is relative. Move it from the
We can add
parking lot
grading.
to the meeting room is one thing.
Yeah, like putting it,
One,
if you can
one-
drive back there, just gotta be careful.
The one I'm talking about is the one they use for special events here for the city.
Okay, but we have a way to get it from the special event place or wherever it's stored up to the top of
Yeah,
it.
we can put it more.
Yeah.
Either,
Okay.
we can ask,
Or maybe Brady.
or Brady, I was gonna say, we'll ask Brady, somebody will get it up there.
And, well, the grass is low, they usually weed whack the top of it. It's pretty low and level there now, so. Although talk to Alfred about that or Paul, see if it needs to do.
thanks. But yes, all this setup stuff comes from either here or down at the harbor and then goes up the hill in the back of the pickup bed, set it up, break it down at the end of the day and send it all back to where it came from.
Full-size pickups are better than
Yes,
small ones.
we used what, 2 last year, we a couple of trips. And we're back in the vehicle, we went over to the harbor, got more stuff.
Yeah, that's you and Gary usually.
I'll contact Gary.
As long as nothing comes up, I still got my truck, which is full, so I just got a camera shit, we still. A lot of stuff in the rack.
Where was I going? Oh, and then we've been averaging with about 40-45 people up there. Kind of a setup and the kids and everything, but we probably average say 3,500 fish an hour. Sometimes it's 4,000. So who knows what we're gonna have left. So everything's be kind of shut down in the afternoon, and then it's up to, I guess, how people feel if you want to do the tear down and shuttle things back. You don't have to get it all or something. See, we have the hoses, we got the spigots. I forgot to bring the list. I'll send it out.
Yeah. As long as we have the list on Friday at 2 p.m. and we know where those things are, that's all that matters.
This is true.
But Todd, you said you would hit someone up for donuts.
Yeah, I wanna call, Raymond, and I don't know how do we pay for that, is that? Do we pay, we try to get it, I don't feel good.
We definitely can pay, we have in the past, we generally do, with the exception, we pay for everything, basically with the exception of coffee is donated,
Yeah.
as
I'm
well as.
gonna try to get him to maybe, I can't make.
I mean, I
Honestly,
honestly,
a deal for like, when I do the cars and coffee, he just puts me on a business thing or whatever, so again, a little cheaper, but I still end up paying for it, because it's my deal.
I mean, in all fairness, I think that it's to be expected that we pay for this. It's one of our goals is to educate folks on the economic importance of salmon and the economic contributions that salmon make to our community. And by proxy, I think paying for things, including coffee, as part of salmon's economic impacts on Depoe Bay. So not all about paying for it. We just need to get reimbursed by the city, and that
Yeah.
entails
If
just.
Kim was here, I'm sure she would do that.
Sometimes you
I'll try to give it
tell them
to
what
us,
the item is for, and we'll pay for it, oh, no. Well,
That's why I'm hoping, but it doesn't always happen. I don't know how many you think we need to order us, the other question.
Just a couple dozen.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. I think last year we had, what, 3 dozen? I remember wolfing down more than I should have.
I was gonna say, I generally eat 2, and there's still, I think, usually a few left over, so.
I don't think they'll be wasted.
No, last time I took, when I got washed up on the cars and coffee here, I ended up taking them over to the fire station, they wanted to get them away from me. I told the guys here, knock yourself out.
When did you have that? I'll talk to you about that.
Okay, I think that about does us. Any questions before we part? Comments, concerns?
I'm just thinking through my assignment, I'm gonna talk to Kim about the hot dogs and goodies, and you go from
And buns,
huh?
hot dogs and buns.
Buns and a few condiments and water.
Yeah.
Make it simple.
Somebody's gonna take care of the donuts.
Donuts there.
Outside doing the coffee,
I'll call.
via you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll be there.
yeah, that's, that's all
I
you.
mean, yeah,
I just need
I
to set it
inform
on
her.
Wednesday, so
Let me
he
check
knows
that.
it's coming, so. But if you only do a couple of dozen, I'm sure it won't be a big deal.
And we all meet on Friday,
Right
the
too.
11th, to pick up stuff and take it up there and spend a couple hours setting it up.
And you guys did get new fasteners for the tent.
Gary did.
correct? Good,
There. Number
No more
one,
nails.
good.
leave it, that's Gary written all over. I don't know how he tracks that stuff down, I'm sure it's just the right amount and they all fit.
Perfect.
And you gotta contact Gary to make certain everything else helps out with pumps. You got hoses and fittings.
I do, took everything from last year, so and barrel down there, but who knows? Let's see, Paul.
Generator from the city.
Yeah.
But how many hot dogs did we go through last year? Curiosity sake.
Maybe 50, I really don't know.
I just
I
curious.
mean, like I said, the ones we don't use, and
Yeah, I'm just curious.
What was that in the grill actually?
I was burning them.
When you get 75, you should do higher, somewhere in there. You never know who's gonna show up.
They must come in bundles like 50 or something.
Yeah,
Come in bundles of 8 or 10.
Well, either that or you get a box.
Usually come in bundles of 8 or 10, unless you order a special.
Well,
We can go to
like
the-
it
Box.
Did,
used to be the cash and carry down there in Newport. I mean,
Yeah.
that's for industrial restaurants and
You know, have a box.
they don't have a box.
That's not bad for us. Either that or we can hit up Cage or something, so if you wanna help us, or a casino maybe.
Normally we do hot dogs on the, down at the park, but this time it was just hamburgers, so we're gonna say there's a lot of hamburger patties left over
Oh, well, there you go.
and buns.
Where are they?
Kim would know, she,
Yeah, kid.
Maybe that's something.
We could, cause that's only what, a couple weeks away, what? Not even next.
Yeah.
12 days.
There you go, almost a couple weeks. Maybe it should last, I would think it would last in freezer that long, whether she's got them.
well, no, I mean, that's where they came frozen.
Yeah,
But there was quite a few left over.
oh, okay, there you go.
And buns, well, the buns would be, once they froze, the buns would go.
Maybe back off on the dogs, and if she's got those, we can use that.
I don't know.
I'll find out tomorrow. So is it 10 hot dogs and 8 buns? Is that what comes in the package?
It's always off. You get more buns than you do hot dogs.
Yeah, there's
I think Dennis was right, after 10 to 12, isn't it, Dennis?
There's 8 buns in a bag if you buy them from the store.
and I think there's 10 hot dogs.
And there's usually 8 to 10 hot dogs in a package, depending on which kind you get.
Let's see, anything else?
Okay, yeah.
So, what I don't have on the list, or what I have on the list, is the first aid kit up there. That's a great idea.
I have one on my Jeep, but
I was gonna say, I think most folks have one in their vehicles, but let's make sure that there is one on the premises and there.
One of those site.
Is there one in the building?
I was gonna say there should be one from the city that
Might be.
is available for use.
We'll find out.
It's a good
We
idea.
just ought to have it up there.
Everything was stuff.
I mean,
Don't have one in my car either.
yeah,
Yeah, I
everybody's
get
usually got parts of one or a good one in their vehicle, but if the vehicle's 4/10 of a mile down,
Yeah, it's gonna take a while to go in there and get.
got a first aid kit and a plenty of Oreo cookies. 40 bucks.
I'm gonna put one in my car, truck, first aid kit. Grab some duct tape already. Works.
Alright, well,
okay, I'm just thinking this through. I'm gonna talk to Kim about the hot dogs. I'll talk to people about the generators.
Also see if you can lay your hands on some of those leftover burgers
Okay,
and buns.
I got that.
Oh, Dennis, we have a couple boxes of, of the chips and stuff, I don't know if they want, you eat a hot dog and, okay,
Well,
Whatever you got left over, that you
Yeah.
can spare, that's what I'd ask you. What she said, no.
we'll find out. And this was for the
that was for the pet food,
Pet Palooza thing.
that was last Friday, or week ago, yes.
So that's good. Yeah, there's two.
So,
Yeah, if that stuff is here, they should be happy to get rid of it instead of
Yeah,
reimbursing us for buying some more stock that they already have sitting in the freezer.
Yeah, I hope so, yeah. Either that, they might give it to the kids,
well, yeah, I imagine, if they have it, they'll be. Come and use it. It's up to them.
alrighty, well, maybe anyone else doesn't have anything else to contribute, I think we can adjourn the meeting. Alright, I'll call the
Meeting closed?
June 30th, 2025 meeting of the Salmon Enhancement Commission.
Somebody turn that off over there.
Yeah, you gotta hit the, what'd she say? On button? Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, I've been trained lately to do things the right way, the words and
Just hit the button and off.
The end button.